The Maltese Falcon is a 1941 American film noir, directed by John Huston in his directorial debut. The movie is based on Dashiell Hammett's 1930 novel of the same name and is often considered one of the greatest films in cinema history, especially in the film noir genre. The plot revolves around private detective Sam Spade, played by Humphrey Bogart, who becomes entangled in a complex web of crime, deceit, and betrayal, all centered around a mysterious, priceless artifact, the Maltese Falcon. Here's a summary of the key points in the story. Sam Spade and his partner, Miles Archer, are hired by a woman named Ruth Wonderly, later revealed to be Bridget O'Shaughnessy, played by Mary Astor, who is searching for her missing sister and a man named Floyd Thursby. That night, Archer is killed while following Thursby. Shortly after, Thursby is also murdered. Spade becomes a suspect in both murders but continues to investigate, becoming more involved with Bridget, who admits she lied and was trying to get hold of a valuable artifact, the Maltese Falcon. Various dangerous characters come into play, including Joel Cairo, Peter Lorre, and the mysterious Casper Gutman, Sidney Greenstreet, all of whom want the Falcon. Spade navigates through lies, double crosses, and threats, trying to uncover the truth while protecting his own interests. The film builds toward a tense climax, where the Falcon is revealed to be a fake. In the end, Sam Spade turns Bridget over to the police, despite her involvement in Archer's murder, as part of his moral code. The film is famous for its intricate plot, sharp dialogue, and its portrayal of Bogart's tough, cynical, yet morally complex character. Although The Maltese Falcon did not win any major Academy Awards, it received 3 Oscar nominations: Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor for Sidney Greenstreet in his film debut as Casper Gutman, Best Adapted Screenplay for John Huston. The movie is frequently listed in Greatest Films rankings, including being ranked number 31 on the AFI's 100 Years 100 Movies list, 1998, and number 26 on their 2007 updated list. The film has been selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress for being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. The film was made on a modest budget of around $375,000. Despite its relatively low budget, The Maltese Falcon was a commercial success, grossing over $1 million at the box office. This was a significant return for a movie in the early 1940s, especially one that was produced quickly. The Maltese Falcon's influence extends beyond just film noir. It cemented John Huston as one of Hollywood's premier directors and Humphrey Bogart as a major star, leading to his future work in other classics like Casablanca, 1942, and The Big Sleep, 1946. The film's themes of moral ambiguity and betrayal, combined with its intricate plotting, have been widely influential in shaping the crime thriller genre. The Maltese Falcon itself, the statuette, has become a cultural icon, symbolizing both mystery and unattainable desires. Positive criticism. One of the film's most celebrated elements is Humphrey Bogart's portrayal of private detective Sam Spade. Critics often highlight his cool, cynical, and tough demeanor, which would come to define his film noir persona and turn him into a Hollywood legend. Bogart's sharp dialogue delivery and nuanced portrayal of Spade's ambiguous morality were key to the film's success. John Huston's screenplay closely follows Dashiell Hammett's 1930 novel, and many viewers have praised the script for its witty, hard-boiled dialogue and tight narrative. Huston captures the novel's intricate plotting and rich characterization while maintaining a brisk pace. The story's twists and turns keep the audience engaged without feeling contrived. Huston's debut as a director was heralded for its assured, innovative style. His use of shadow and lighting helped to establish the moody, atmospheric look that became synonymous with film noir. The camera work, including long takes and dramatic close-ups, added depth and tension to the scenes. In addition to Bogart, the supporting cast has been widely praised. Sidney Greenstreet in his film debut as the sinister Casper Gutman, Peter Lorre as the effeminate and creepy Joel Cairo, and Mary Astor as the femme fatale Bridget O'Shaughnessy are all memorable in their roles. Each character feels vividly real, contributing to the sense of a world filled with deception and greed. Arthur Edison's cinematography, with its use of light and shadow, stark contrasts, and urban settings, contributes to the film's iconic noir aesthetic. This visual style helps create the moral ambiguity and tension characteristic of the genre. Negative criticism. Some critics and audiences have found the film's moral ambiguity unsettling or unsatisfying. Sam Spade, while the protagonist is not entirely heroic. His cold detachment, cynicism, and occasional unethical decisions make him a difficult character to root for in a traditional sense. For viewers seeking clear-cut heroes and villains, this moral grayness can be a turn-off. While the film is often praised for its tight narrative, some critics have noted that certain scenes drag or become bogged down in dialogue-heavy sequences. The film is primarily plot-driven, with little room for character development or emotional depth, which can leave some viewers feeling disconnected from the characters. While many consider Astor's performance effective, especially given her role as the deceptive femme fatale, others have criticized her portrayal as lacking nuance. Some viewers have found her performance too melodramatic, especially compared to the more restrained and layered performances of Bogart and Laurie. Astor's character, Bridget, is meant to be manipulative and desperate, but at times she comes across as overacted. In summary, The Maltese Falcon 1941 is not just a landmark in film history for its noir aesthetics and narrative sophistication, but also for launching careers, cementing star personas, and influencing the style and substance of future films. Its commercial success despite a modest budget and its enduring legacy in American cinema make it a seminal work.